You can imagine, 3-3 the score between Real Madrid and Manchester City, and a game like that makes for lively watching in our studio. So, Dickie, roll red. Let's go.
Like a fish pasta or something.
Okay, let's have a look.
Simple seafood. He's on the floor.
Oh, yes, yes. Problem!
Come on, you little beauty!
Johnston, Foden, 2-2. Oh, you went. To show that to warn everyone. Oh. When you got the ball. You see the disrespect I give Guardiola before his shot?
Yeah, you went. Oh.
That's funny. Sorry, Joseph. Sorry.
You were cheering for Real, were you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah?
I don't like...
With the new rules, the new system, with a meeting with UEFA, you should want the English teams to do well.
For the coefficients.
Yes.
That's getting tighter than you think as well at the moment. But no, I actually do want Man City to go through. But I thought if Man City won this game, they were virtually through. It makes it a little bit more on edge.
A bit more on it.
But I want City and Arsenal to go through and play each other because that will help Liverpool in the Premier League.
I like that. He's being honest.
Always goes back to Liverpool, doesn't it?
He's being honest. I like that.
I think tonight has been brilliant.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
I've really enjoyed it. I think it's my favourite show all season.
Emmanuel
The
Neuer.
only thing he didn't enjoy was the commentary from Rob Green.
And 2-2 the score between Arsenal and Bayern Munich in London. Let's start with the Real Madrid-Manchester City game. Great game of football, Jamie.
Amazing, and that is exactly what the Champions League is about. I think Thierry mentioned in the second half, it felt like it should have been the final. You know, we probably are looking at the two best teams, I would say, in the competition. The history of Real Madrid, Manchester City, the champions at the moment, and that was just a privilege to watch, and I can't wait for the second leg, which we may be...
Are we going to?
Oh, no. We're not going to.
Okay.
No.
What, is that official? I thought we were too.
Yeah.
Is that official? We're not.
Budget's been cut.
Budget?
We're thinking about it.
You spend too much on wages.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you,
Put the
Kate.
camera on someone else. Don't look at me. So just 2 minutes for Manchester City to take the lead. Bernardo Silva.
Yeah,
right?
Bernardo Silva. I mean, with the news that Kevin De Bruyne was ill before the game, it was a big blow. And then Kyle Walker was not available. But Grealish, who I thought was very good again, gets a foul there. And when the free kick comes in, you're thinking it's a bit far away. 33 yards there. Goalkeeper's position. We might talk to Peter Schmeichel about that. We think he's just going to curl it in, but he goes for the cheeky one. And the keeper should do better. We know that. But the creativity from Bernardo Silva.
Do better right from the start because you put two in your wall.
Exactly.
You have two guys on the ball. You cannot put one on the wall. It's impossible. Two guys. One can bend that way and the other one. So obviously he's asking Vinicius Junior to go alongside the other side. And now you open the space. So obviously Bernardo Silva, it wasn't born yesterday. Have a look where Vinicius Junior is going to do now. He's looking, he's moving. See you later. What are you doing? You put two. There's two men on the ball, two men on the wall. Everyone knows that. Go and pick it up in your net now.
Would you expect him to shoot from there, though? From that, you expect the keeper to do better there, Tito?
No.
No?
Have a look again. Vinicius Junior moves. The goalkeeper is going even more there. It's a goal. If you hit the target, it's a goal.
And as we said, it's not just for the shot as well. If you've only got one in the ball, you've got two on the ball. You can play it short and play.
That's the first rule. Two on the ball, two on the wall.
He should still save it.
Yeah, he's still there, though, isn't he?
As soon as that ball hit the ground, guys, we see the replay. Bye-bye. That's slow motion.
Mm-hmm. Was it impulsive or was it pre-planned?
No, that's what you do. You put the ball down. You take it or I take it. Let me see what they do. Okay, you look. One man on the wall. You don't respect us. Okay, no problem. You moved. Gee, so what are we doing?
Did you score a free kick in where the goalkeeper wasn't ready? I wasn't exactly
Yes,
like that.
I remember.
Did you put something down and take it really quickly? And the goalkeeper...
Chelsea and Villa did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just you need to wait to see what they're giving you. So I'm playing Man City's Grealish and a left-footed player. You have to put two because he can bend. He won't be able to bend here. This is why he asked Vinicius Junior to go alone. But then what do you do with the left footer?
So even if you practice them in training, say a couple of days before, you would still wait? I'm talking about you yourself.
If you take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you have two. You have two to make them think that, you might do something. But we go back to the very basics of it. 2 men on the ball, 2 men on the wall.
Okay.
You mentioned talking to Peter Schmeichel. Do you know he's not on the show today?
Yeah, exactly.
He zoomed in from home to do the brackets. He's not actually on the
He zoomed in for his
show.
brackets.
You'd have to FaceTime him.
Okay, we'll FaceTime
Yeah, maybe
him.
we'll FaceTime him.
Oh.
2 goals from Real Madrid in 2 minutes, then put Real Madrid 2-1 up. Let's take a look at those, Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, the Camavinga, I mean, listen, they get a little bit of fortune. We say it's Camavinga, it's Ruben Diaz, but you see how many players Manchester City have behind the ball there. That shows how much better Real Madrid were in this game than they were in either game last season. They forced Manchester City back. And they needed that little bit of luck, because I think the way they started the game, that's a blow for anybody, even a team with the experience of sort of Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid. But Mike, the pace, you spoke about this before the game.
Yeah, it was just that left-hand side. This time it was Rodrigo running in behind. That's what I was afraid of today, with no Kyle Walker. We know how Man City like to push really high. Stones makes a mistake there, not getting tight enough, and then it's a foot race, and Rodrigo has got that pace. Has he got the composure to finish? Yes, he has. Takes a little deflection, makes it hard for Ortega. But at that point, in terms of the transition, Real Madrid really deserved the second goal. And what a player he is, by the way. We talk about Vinicius all the time, but Rodrigo, wow.
So what you're saying there is if Kyle Walker's playing, that doesn't happen.
100%. And we're going to break it down a little bit later. I think we're going into more detail.
You say...
I thought it was just a head and clear it, man.
Yeah, you know what? Let's address this, please. Because we have our in-house jokes, you know what I mean? And
Wait, make clear what are you addressing? What are you addressing first of all?
We have our in-house jokes between us four. Do you know what I mean? We might bring in Anita, we might bring in Peter, we might bring in Guillaume. But Rob and
Clive,
now they're getting involved in the banter.
what was you so offended by?
He said basically I was a heady and kicky defender. I had 7 assists in the Premier League in a team that won the Premier League. Put some respect on my name. I'll take it from Champions League winners. but not from someone who played for Norwich.
Say it loud.
I'm proud. Yeah.
He's played in a World Cup.
It doesn't matter what happened.
Hey.
So I just wanted to get that off the chest. I mean, if he can give, he should be able to take 2. Moving on, Kate.
We're going to move on.
Roll red, Nicky, please.
Move on with your boy Phil Foden. Phil Foden. Big games.
He is an absolute superstar. I mean, look at that. Not just the whole of our country in England will be talking about him, what he's going to do in the national team. I think doing that in the Bernabeu, that'll be a goal he'll remember for the rest of his life. Fitting for the game, the stadium it's in, the opposition.
Stones.
You know, that's one of the great goals Phil Foden's ever scored. And look what it means to Pep Guardiola.
How good is he now, Cara? I know we was not laughing and joking, but we talked about his development.
Yeah.
Maybe last season he probably wasn't at the level that we all required, but this season he showed exactly why.
I don't think what we're seeing this season, we're seeing more of it. I don't think there's ever been a question about his ability. We were talking about actually being in the Man City team regular. And what I would say now is, I think Man City have gone from the David Silva era. Let's say David Silva was the main player and the team then morphed into Kevin De Bruyne's team. I actually think we're now morphing from the Kevin De Bruyne team into the Phil Foden team. It almost feels like it's, not right now, I think it's still, Kevin De Bruyne's still the man, but I can just feel, it's almost feel like it's a passing of the guard. Do you agree with that, Thierry, where you've sort of got one man
I would
who
put
you feel like
in there.
No, but,
Alongside
okay.
David Silva. No, because it was both. Like it can be for me a Rodri now and a Kevin De Bruyne. But the little man, when I say the little man, I understand well. It's a nice way of calling Phil Foden. What he's doing at the moment.
Does he have to do that with the... Because we've had that discussion, because he's never really even... Let's not forget, last season he was on the bench in the Champions League final, he came on sub. So it's only this season where it feels like he's an automatic player. He's still not... He will be in the summer for England, but he's still got to take what we're seeing for Manchester City into an England shirt and into an international tournament.
What, he needs to start for England? for that to happen, for him to be able to play like that? Do they play the same system? Does he have the same players around? It is different when you
No, but
move
you could say
someone.
that about every player, couldn't you? Because
City is different. The way they play is different than everybody else. You can see when people leave City, they kind of struggle at one point to it's like
it's a different type of football.
Exactly. So Phil Foden, I think at times struggle when you have to go and play for England because he knows exactly what he has to do. But what I would say about Phil Foden this year is that when Alan doesn't show or Kevin De Bruyne is injured, now he put that team on his shoulder. Now we can start to talk about world class. We can start to talk about world class because you put your team on your shoulders. And that's what he's been doing.
You play for some great French teams. We're thinking about England in the summer, and we've got Bellingham and Foden, and there's a debate about how you get them both in the team. So you've had similar situations with France where you maybe had like Djorkaeff and Zidane, two sort of great players that you're trying to fit in. Is it possible to get them both in the team?
Yes, it is. I do believe so. But I'm not here sitting to tell Gareth Southgate what he has to do, but they can play together. Foden plays with De Bruyne. Foden can play with Bellingham. It depends on the shape of your team and how you're going to play. Do you want to be on the ball? Are you going to press? You can play 2-10 and one holding. We all know that he's been saying that he doesn't have a George. Or Declan Rice can play there, and you have 2 10s. But it depends on the game. Are you going to be on the ball, not on the ball? You play in the position also. It's not always. But what I would say is, once again, England does have a great team.
Yeah.
Missed it. Dear, oh dear. And clinical from the spot. Good penalty. It's in. No.